Good morning, everybody, and welcome to your February SBDM webinar. So we're going to cover a few different topics today. We're going to talk about Phase 4 of the Comprehensive School Improvement Plan, staffing allocation reminders, alternative model applications, and then our in-person 2026 endorsement training. So Phase 3 of the Comprehensive School Improvement Plan was due on January 1st. So right now we are in Phase 4. And there is the Professional Development Plan for Schools that is May 1st. And then also progress monitoring. So looking at the plan and seeing if it's working the way it's supposed to, or if any edits need to be made. Some staffing allocation reminders. So the tentative allocation reminders are due to school councils by March 1st, with the final due on May 1st. If there is any revision in the staffing allocation policy or guidelines, please make sure to send those revisions to me, Mia Morales. And then I just want to take a minute just to review some of our different technical documents that you may find on our webpage. So if you go to our SBDM technical documents webpage, you'll find all of our good stuff, but you will find towards the bottom our staffing allocation documents. So we have an SBDM staffing allocation information worksheet, information document that has just general information about staffing allocation and their guidance that we provide, as well as reminders on statutory and regulatory requirements. We have a staffing allocation worksheet, a staffing allocation webinar, and then a sample SBDM request for resources of Section 7 funds. So our staffing allocation document itself that has all the information on Section 3, Section 4, 5, 6, and 7 funding, you will find here. It goes through on what the required ratios are for allocation, as well as the reminder that grades 7 through 12 need to have that max of 150 pupil hours. The reminder that all schools must have an instructional leader and at least some part-time media specialists, and kindergarten classrooms assistants are required to be allocated at a 24-to-1 ratio. Our staffing allocation worksheet is where you would actually type in the numbers for your school and figure out how many certified staff is required to be allocated based on the ratios, as well as 150 pupil hours for grades 7 through 12. So anything that is grade is where you would put in your school's information. The ratio, you can go lower because your ratio can be lower. You can have a smaller ratio, but you can't have a higher ratio. So these would be, you'd be able to edit these as well. So if we want to go 28, that would be fine. But if we want to go 30, you're going to get a little red box indicating that that's going to be too high and not appropriate. Table 3 allows you to put how many school librarians are allocated, as well as the number of administrators. And then you can include the number of staff that is allocated. So how many assistant principals, school counselors, teachers, and other certified staff. And the goal would be for this total certified staff to be more or the same as the number that is required to be allocated. The webinar that we have online just sort of explains a little bit more information on the regulation itself. And then, like I said, the Section 7 worksheet is really just a template that you can use to submit to your board to get additional funds under Section 7. Alternative model applications are due on February 28th. So a school can submit to have an alternative model that is outside of the 1 administrator, 2 parents, and 3 teacher ratio. And these are going to be for voting council members. And just as a reminder, if a school wants to add non-voting council members, that is absolutely allowed. Just that doesn't have to be approved by the Kentucky Board of Education. So that can be added just by changing the bylaws. If and when this is submitted, it's going to be submitted to us at KDE, so you'll send it to me, and then I will forward it to the Kentucky Board of Education for approval. And this would take effect for the following school year, so the 26-27 school year. It doesn't take effect upon approval. All right, our 2026 endorsement training, which is going to be in person. We're doing a little tour across Kentucky, which I'm really excited about. I'm not originally from Kentucky, so I'm excited to see different parts of Kentucky outside of the central Kentucky area. But our dates and locations are following April 14th at 9:30 a.m. Central Time at Murray State University. April 15th at 9 a.m. at Warren County Library. We have April 22nd at 9 a.m. at KDE, so here at the Sauer Building. April 23rd at 9:30 at Leslie County Library. And then finally, we're going to end on April 30th at Boyd County Library. The registration form is available on the PowerPoint that was emailed out to you all. You can also find it. I will also include it in the email that I send with the recording of this, so you'll have it readily available. All right, and then the last thing, we have elections, or they're going to be starting up really soon for the 26-27 school year. So just a reminder that if your schools have 8% or more student minority population, then they are going to require to have minority representation on council. So you can either use the SAR report, which is the Superintendent Annual Attendance Report. That's going to come out in the fall of 2026. So we would recommend that you use your internal Infinite Campus data based on October 1st of 2025. So you can pull it up right now and see which of your schools are going to require minority representation for this upcoming school year. And then just a couple of things to think about. So the first big question is, does your school have 8% or more minority student population as of October 1st, 2025? If no, then you don't have to worry about it. If yes, then that school is going to require minority representation. So just some tips on hosting minority elections. Well, we recommend that you host your regular election for your 6-member council first, right? Because if a minority were to be elected during that regular election, then no additional election is needed, and your council can remain a 6-member council. If during that regular election there is not a minority parent or teacher that was elected and the principal is not a minority, then they would host a special election for a minority parent and a minority teacher. Those minority elections, both of those, the teacher and the parent, can happen simultaneously. One doesn't have to occur before the other. So we would recommend that you don't really hold off and that those happen sort of around the same time, just to get your councils all set. And just as a reminder, our statute, the SBDM statute, actually defines what minority is. So it includes American Indian, Alaskan Native, African American, Hispanic, including persons of Mexican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, and Central or South American origin, Pacific Islander, or other ethnic group that is underrepresented in the school. So that's all that I have for you today. I'm going to put the verification form in the chat, and then I'm going to stick around to answer any questions that you may have. But thank you all for coming. Have a good day.